Ender's Game. Now, this is a book by Orson Scott Card. I really, really liked it. I'm going to give it a solid 4.5. I have criticisms, obviously, and I will talk about them now. But overall, I really liked the story here, and it was a good, solid book. Now, originally, I wanted to do a spoiler review after reading this book because there is some stuff to talk about. But as I went on, I kind of just realized not enough people have read this book, so I'm going to do a spoiler-free talking about this book. And again, minor spoilers, my spoiler-free reviews. Always, I'll talk about the back of the book, some details in the back of the book, but I won't tell you how it ended. But if you're super sensitive, I might kick it, but still, you can watch it. I'm not going to definitely ruin this book, in my opinion. Now, this book was about a little boy named Ender. When I say little, I mean little. He starts the book at 6, and he ends the book at maybe like 10, or like at the end is kind of longer away, but like the main events of this book is from 6 to 10 years old. Like, again, 6 years, quite a long time, but still, he's younger than me the whole book, and he's doing stuff way more than I could do. And I feel like this whole book, I don't think the physical limits are not just like the irony in this book is like he's littler, so much littler, but him being bad at things, it is not what is limiting him. He is good at almost everything he tries, and that's a little annoying for a character. He is good. He is just good at everything, but I really don't think that's the struggle for him in this book. I think the struggle is way more mental than it is physical, because he wins almost everything he comes across in this book, which, again, could be on face value a little annoying, just, oh, this kid is good at everything, but really his mental struggles are a lot worse than his physical struggles, and that's really, really cool to see in a book, and it's really original. That's what I like about the character Ender, because a lot of times you might think a character who's good at everything is annoying, but I feel like it's well done here. Now, my criticism for this is the world building. The world building is lackluster. It's basically the buggers who are the fight, but I feel like they tell you almost nothing about there's a war. And how the ending is very clever, but it's like I don't feel like the world. I feel like what this book needed a lot was a lot more world building. I feel like maybe in the future books there's going to be more world building and more depth, because definitely at the end he is going to explore more worlds. That's basically what's going to happen. And maybe there's more to come here, but at least in the first book, there was not a lot of world building. There was certainly world building. There was other planets, and there was some good stuff, but this is like the world building didn't impress me. That's what gave it back half a star for me. I have 4.5 stars. I really like it, and I definitely do understand why this is people's favorite science fiction of all time. It didn't really come close for me, but I really did it. I understand where you're coming from. I really like the other perspectives in this book. I really came to think about this as this is only going to be Ender's story, but this is not. There's Peter and Valentine who are also doing things as well. So it's not half as much as Ender, but there's still a lot of other people kind of in this book, which I like the more than one section of this book. I like how it's multi-spread across, and I think it's really good. I just think how their thing was doing really interested me, even though it was very, very different from Ender's point of view. And what Ender was doing the whole time was training. 97% of this book was legitimately training to become a battle dude. That's okay, because he got up in the ranking. He's actually very, very talented. This man is very talented. But I really do think that it could have done a little more like legitimate action, but he did not want to hurt people, but like he does. Like it's like he's good at everything, but the mental struggle for Ender is really, really what's good in this book. I've never seen a character like, because a lot of people, a lot of books, this character has something almost impossible to do. Like that, the whole book and the whole book of this other book would be going up to a challenge, facing a challenge. But in this book, the challenge wasn't the big facer. I feel like the challenge was very let's say just underused. I feel like they didn't like talk about how hard it was for him, other than like the training. But the mental attitude, what was hard for him, which was a completely new thing, and that's a new aspect what I really liked about this book. And yeah, this was just a really short science fiction read. Definitely, totally recommend. I have criticisms with it. I also do really like it. This book is a 6-book series. I don't know if I want to continue. As for now, no. But The Speaker of the Dead, I already know what the title means. After reading the end of the book, I kind of know what the title is implying. So I really kind of want to read those, but also I like the ending. I think the ending was cool enough. I feel like this is one of those books where you're like, okay, there's 50 pages left. The ending doesn't look like it's near happening. But it was like, okay, is this going to be a cliffhanger? But like, this kind of looks like a standalone. But no, it is a 6-book series. I feel like old science fiction is kind of known for having a really popular book, and then the sequels being really like underappreciated, like Dune or Foundations of the trilogy, and then no one else knows about the other 4 books. But like, I feel like a lot of classic science fiction have just books like that, and same with this one. I've heard of Ender's Game so many times. I've never heard of Speaker of the Dead, Xenocide, Children of the Mind, Ender in Exile, or Last Shadow. I've never heard of them before, but I do really like this book, and yeah, so that was my review for Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. This is my 6th sci-fi September, and I didn't plan to get it this month, but I did really, really like it. So that was my review, so see you in the next video.